My name is Leisl Adams, author of Batter Royale, and you are listening to the True North Country Comics podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. If you want to drop me a line, you can contact me at john@truenorthcountrycomics.com. On this episode, I chat with Leisl Adams about her new graphic novel, Batter Royale, at the 2022 Toronto Comic Arts Festival. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. It's also available in the True North Country Comics channel on YouTube. I invite you to like and subscribe. Leisl is a director, storyboard artist, and illustrator based in Ottawa, Ontario. She's done work for Arcana Comics, Simon & Schuster, Rubicon Publishing, and her self-published works On the Edge and Not My Show. Batter Royale is her debut YA graphic novel from Amulet Abrams Books. The story of Batter Royale goes like this. When 17-year-old small-town waitress Rose impresses a famous food critic, she and her best friend Fred find themselves thrust into the tough world of competitive baking. The contest is an intense 10 days of bizarre challenges, and the competition is cutthroat. Some competitors are willing to lie, cheat, and sabotage their way to the top. Rose may be in over her head, but she's determined to show that she can become a top chef. Batter Royale is a fish-out-of-water style romantic comedy about climbing out of the circumstances you're in and making your dreams come true. And so, without further ado, here's my chat with Leisl Adams about her new graphic novel, Batter Royale, at the 2022 Toronto Comic Arts Festival. So, Leisl Adams, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Before we get started with the questions, I'd like to ask you, what was the first comic book that you read?
That's a weird question because I can't even remember. When I was a kid, I actually wasn't really allowed to read comic books, which is weird. I read comic strips in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a favorite one?
I'm trying to remember the names of them now.
Garfield, maybe, or Peanuts, or
yeah, I read those. I read Peanuts. I remember liking Peanuts. I still like Peanuts. Yeah, no, I can't remember anything.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll put you on the spot. I know.
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes. That was a big one.
That's a classic for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I got collections here. Everyone still this day still remembers that. So that's a good one. Good inspirations growing up, but I'm wondering who or what inspires you to create today?
I'm inspired a lot just from my own. Try to go back to my own childhood, teen experiences. Actually, my kids inspire me a lot. I have 2 young kids now.
Lots of stories there, I bet.
Yeah.
How about artistically? Anyone, any artists inspire you?
Pretty much inspired by a lot of animation artists because I work in animation, and a lot of friends who are animators and have gone into comics as well. Are you looking for names?
Yeah, like I know some people say Studio Ghibli, for example. That's a big influence, or perhaps Disney.
Studio Ghibli, Disney, Pixar. I love their storytelling. I love Marvel stuff right now, but that's kind of my candy. One of my good friends is Svetlana Shmakova. Her books always inspire me too.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. Well, we're here talking about your latest book that just came out called Batter Royale. And I'm wondering if you could talk a bit about the story and maybe what inspired you to create it.
It's about a girl in high school going into college, and she wants to go into this prestigious cooking school. She really wants to be a chef. That's her thing. But it costs money and that she doesn't have. So she has this chance to enter a baking contest. And it's actually inspired a lot by... I actually studied baking myself in London in 2012. So it's a little bit loosely based on that. And she goes to this competition, and it just turns out to be this very surreal, wacky sort of event.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think? I was reading a review that claims your book will be a great hit for fans of the Great British Bake Off. Do you think that's a fair comment to make?
Yeah. I love those shows. I love baking contests on TV. Master Chef, I was big on. Yeah, the Great British Bake Off, I was big on. So
And recipes are included with your book too?
there are recipes, yes, and
Ah,
yeah,
very
there's
good.
a few easy ones that I came up with. So
Nice. Good stuff.
yeah.
Well, wanted to switch gears a wee bit and talk about the tools used to create your art. Wonder if you could walk me through your workflow.
Yeah, so actually, this book was mostly done on an iPad Pro with Clip Studio. That was actually the first time I had used Clip Studio that heavily. But the iPad Pro is like amazing, and I will use that for everything. But I also use Photoshop just for finishing things. And yeah, my colorist was using Photoshop as well. So
I noticed in your bio that you're also an animator. So I'm wondering if the tools used when you animate made this jump to making a graphic novel easier for you.
the tools are actually pretty different. I'm a storyboard artist in animation, so I use a program called Storyboard Pro. It's a very different program from Photoshop, but I am used to working on the computer, so that probably made it a lot easier to do. That's how I work normally.
Now, I'm wondering, we talked about you being an animator. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer creating animation or comic books?
That's a good question. They both have sort of pros and cons. I really love making my own stories. I actually really enjoy writing. So, and I love doing something that it's mine at the end, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see that final product with animation. You're working on a team, and because I work kind of in the pre-production area, like my work actually doesn't end up being on TV. It goes off to the animators, and then they make it look nice. So I guess I prefer making books just
Okay.
because I get to see a final product that is mine.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still good to be part of a team, but I know that you want the finished product and you're your own boss, so to speak. You can
exactly.
see the thing. Sure. Now you're doing interviews for your book. I'm wondering how you'll be promoting your new graphic novel this year. Will you be attending any conventions or festivals?
I am going to TCAF,
And you'll be
and
exhibiting there?
yes, I have a table on the second floor.
Have you been to that
Uh,
show before?
I have. I used to go. It was like a long time ago now, maybe like 15 years ago, or it was quite a while ago. I used to go pretty regularly. It was probably at the start of TCAF, like when they just started doing it. So this will be my first time back in like forever, which will be fun. And
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have a signing at some point, but I don't have details about that yet. But it'll be like a local Ottawa, probably at an Indigo somewhere.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that things have sort of opened up, so to speak, a bit more from the pandemic, I know that book creators and artists have a chance to get out a bit more and spread the word and see people. So that's a great opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really glad. Like I was a little worried that it would still be going on, the lockdown and stuff. So I'm grateful that I can do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we've been talking about Batter Royale, but I'm wondering, do you have any other upcoming projects that you can talk about?
I actually have there's a picture book that I illustrated that's coming out next April, but I think the cover is going to be revealed like in the next few weeks, called Mermaid and Pirate, which
Hmm,
was written by Tracy Baptiste and illustrated by me. So
great,
that'll be revealed in the next few weeks. And yeah, that's it for now.
super. Do you have a website where people can go and find out about your current and your future projects, including all your different book signings and different activities?
Yeah, people can go to LeislAdams.com. All my social media is at Leisl Adams. So usually I'm announcing things on Twitter or on my Facebook page.
Thanks to Leisl for the chat. You can discover more about Leisl on Twitter and Instagram at Leisl Adams. That's LeisLAdams, and online at LeislAdams.com. And thanks to you for listening to the True North Country Comics podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to and like this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and please leave a good rating. Also check out the TrueNorthCountryComics.com website and follow along on Twitter at True North Comics. True North Country Comics is now on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to that video channel and hit the notification button. Please send your feedback to John at TrueNorthCountryComics.com. Thanks again for listening, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2022.